on the side, making it a proper 4v5.
Oh, here we go.
You still go.
I mean, you've also got a literal demigod, right, in Leona.
True. Yeah, but like, can demigods survive?
She's a celestial
Can
warrior.
they survive boulders falling on them?
I think they can.
Okay.
I think they can.
All right. Well, we're on the Rift. This is our first streamed game of the year in 2020 of our high school league. And already Stylish getting a little poke for it. That's the first damage we've seen on stream. This is a whole bunch of firsts right now for 2020, and that's exciting to see.
It's quite funny as well to see the LL Stylish lookalike, the Z player playing Malzahar, probably one of the least mechanically intense champions, going from the most mechanically intense to probably the least. Interesting, the Malzahar already losing his spell shield there too, up on the top side. I mean, even going back to that lore point too, the Gragas as well, I think is going to be one of the strongest champions in the lore, with his lore literally stating his barrel is filled with true ice because it keeps his beer at the perfect temperature, and his purpose in life is to walk around the Freljord looking for the best beer possible.
High school league though, so it's the best fizzy drink. The best soft drink.
The best soft drink.
The best soft drink.
Sorry, the best soft drink.
Yeah, the best can of Coke is in that barrel.
No, Coke. The best can of cola.
Cola.
Sponsors. We're going to give that away for free.
There we go, there we go. Yeah, the best can of insert generic soft drink here. Speaking of generic, pretty standard start. It's going to be a red buff side for both Mansfield and the Redeemer since we've hit a pause.
Another pause. Fantastic.
Alrighty. I hope you enjoyed that 1 minute 42 seconds of League of Legends.
Of gameplay. See, this is the junglers starting at both their respective red buffs. Obviously, that means a top side start for Gragas, but obviously Gragas with Predator, you expect him to do red Raptors Krugs, back, get the Predator boots, run, get that blue. So if MajorDave's on top of it, he should go straight for a blue side invade and just put his team well and truly ahead. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you would be looking to see, but at the same time, though, you also have to hope that the rest of the Minotaurs are aware of the Gragas strat, play their lanes a little bit safer, specifically Arventus on that mid lane. That tends to be a common spot for the Predator Gragas to hit first, especially when it's a Vel'Koz with very little mobilities. If he does go for that cheeky level 2-3 Predator play. He's into a Malzahar, though, which isn't going to offer a lot of gank assist, because Malzahar can't really do anything until he gets items.
No,
like, I know playing Malzahar myself, if I get ganked when I'm like level 5 and the junglers, what are you doing? I'm like, I have no damage, I have no mana, I don't know what you want me to do. I can EWQ him, but then I've got no mana and I lose my wave control and I have to back, and you're not going to need my blue buff, so... Well, pre-6, there's like really no good gank assist, unfortunately, for anyone on the Malphite. Malphite can do a bit of damage to this Kennen. Kennen's got a little bit of mobility. You could even send them, if the Leona goes in and he gets collapsed on. Because TK is one of the strongest level 1 champions in the game. But then you'd be going back, but the problem with that is then the Gragas would be going back to the top side. Hold your E, mate. Hold it. You don't use your E, you just play for 10 CSPM, you got to freeze the wave, use those Voidlings, you level up Voidlings first, guys. That's a cheeky tip if you're playing Malzahar. You point into Voidlings, then into Q, and then into your E. You never go E first. E first is a trap. I'm going to advise you not to use the phrase freeze again, because the second you did that, our screen did freeze, and that's not fun. Freeze! I didn't want to okay, good. We broke the curse. All right, that's good to see. So we're still going at a pretty standard pace right now. Gragas has instead opted to go up towards the Krugs, I believe. Yep. And so now he should be looking to take one more camp. Most likely will back, get them Predator boots, and look for that play. And at the moment, it's interesting because Mansfield bot lane is sort of starting to shove. Similarly with the top lane as well. Really, all the lanes are starting to shove, which would open up the play for... I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm just going to be calling him Gragas today. I'd rather just call the champion as opposed to getting the player wrong, and I'm sure someone can correct me afterwards. But he could have like a lot of potential options at this stage, although I'm very curious to see what happens when this wave crashes right now. And we're going to really see how good Pac-Man is farming under tower. We'll have to, I mean, we'll swap away now, but the Kai'Sa under the towers are currently at 11 CS. We'll keep an eye on that count and see how it goes up. But interesting to see that bot lane then not getting control early on. You'd expect in a TK Kai'Sa lane that generally your Kai'Sa and your TK would be able to dominate the lane the first 2 levels. Since Leona is one of the weakest champions in the early levels of the game, and TK one of the strongest, especially got the exhaust too, so if they do go for an all-in that. Misfortune won't be pumping out as much damage. Now Gragas on the blue buff, picking that up. See J4 walking around for a bit of it. He didn't get the boots. Didn't get the boots. No booties. Well, no booties for his fast running. Yeah, so he didn't actually opt for the quick Predator boots Rust strategy. That's a bit interesting. We'll see if it still pays off, though, instead of opting to go for more of that power farm right there. He was looking at mid, but he did walk over a couple wards. Good vision control from Mansfield right now, and J4 just able to track that Gragas. I think they did drop those wards in preparation in case he went for the boot play, but seeing that he didn't right now actually does completely open the map up for the Mansfield side. Are they going for an invade, too, in that bot side?
Yeah, it looks like they will be.
A little cheeky inbound into the Gragas, got mid prio 2 into a Malzahar.
Oh, he stole the big Raptor away, so that's a good little take right there for one MajorDave. And Arventus actually has to be a bit careful right here. He's pushed quite far.
He's taking a big boy path back into that mid lane. He went, no, I will walk through here and punished. And Malzahar went, what are you doing? You're trolling?
And actually, he might go down for this.
No.
Ah, the last
Malzahar's got no mana. He's been wasting on the wave.
Yeah, the last touch from the Maleficent Visions are not going to hit right there. So everything's A-okay right now. Game at a pretty status quo. A little bit of a revenge invade actually happening from the Gragas. He'll be taking the Raptors away from MajorDave. You take mine, I'll take yours. And unless we see an individual outplay until the jungler's back, I really doubt we're going to be seeing anything.
Titanic Hydra? Where did he get Titanic Hydra? What was that, the AoE thing he just shot at? I don't know.
That's his E.
Wait, Malphite has like a Titanic Hydra passive.
Is that the E or is that
the
W? I think it's his W ability when he smacks in and has like the area of effect hit. Yeah.
See, I've never played Malphite before.
Ah, really? No. You've never played Malphite?
No.
Malphite's so much fun though. Like
Malphite's dog champ. I don't play dog champs.
What?
Like Nasus, mega dog champ. Maokai, big dog champ. I don't play. Ornn, kind of dog champ, but he can like nuke you, so he's more fun to play.
Ornn's amazing.
Ornn's not a dog champ.
Malphite can nuke you.
No, but Malphite's just there. I don't like the champ.
All right, fair enough.
Why would I play Malphite when I can play Yasuo?
Because they do completely different things.
No, but it's in like, if the only time I'd ever play Malphite is if there was a Yasuo in game. But I'll be playing the Yasuo, not the Malphite.
Dude, you have not.
You feel me?
You have not. No, I don't. You have not played League of Legends properly until you've gone hard AP Malphite and one shot the entire team.
I am never doing that in my life.
Well,
maybe an all for one.
As at the moment, we do.
I just want to play Karthus in 1-for-all and ARAM so bad. That'd be so much fun just to go with the boys and just, all right, boy, 3, 2, 1, press the R button, kill the whole team. It'd be great. I'd hard rate that. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, until their entire team builds Zhonya's.
Can't tell people about how to counter Karthus, all right?
Like, I don't know about that one, Chief. Is at the moment, pretty still standard start at the moment. You have been watching MajorDave. He's been looking for entrances into lanes. He's been trying to provide, safety nets as well for his side, but hasn't found that opening just yet. As champions, though, are starting to hit level 6, we might be seeing a bit more aggression, especially with an Infernal Drake on the map. That being the first dragon, I do believe will be a high priority of contention for each of these sides.
I do believe so. Infernal Drake, one of the stronger Drakes when it comes to it. But I mean, interesting to see the transition in team plays when people have been shifting away from early dragons and pushing towards that early Rift Herald and playing for gold, so they can scale up and then contest after those 2 first Drakes have gone down, and only play for Soul Drakes.
Yeah, I mean, that is a situation as well. But it also, I think when that happens, it depends on the Drake that comes up. I think with an Infernal being first, there should be a bit more prioritization on it. Like, if it's something late, like an Ocean Drake, and you're Mansfield and you're going for that strategy, I think you'd be a little bit sad, as you don't really need that Ocean Drake as much as you could have used maybe this Infernal, and like if a Cloud comes up next or something along those lines, you'd be better off. So while I do understand that strategy, in this instance, specifically on Mansfield's side, I wouldn't recommend it. I think they should be actually making a play for that Infernal Drake, but instead, both junglers are on the top side of the map.
I mean, look, Mansfield are the only team that can actually go for this early Drake. They've got the MF, they've got the Leona, they're about to hit level 6, and once they hit that level 6 mark, then this bot lane from the Redeemers can't really contest. They're kind of forced into just letting this MF have a way, because otherwise you got a Jarvan down here with level 6, and that's a dead Kai'Sa every day of the week. Even with Flash and Heal, I don't think if you've got Leona's correct holding that Solar Flare, even after she flashes, she'll still be doomed.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of a reason why they will need to be careful. But as it stands, good vision does mean that this Gragas will be spotted out, and I do expect Kipkangaroo to get out of this one safely. The pings have gone down, and he has fallen back to a safer spot. And I have to admit, this is a much more controlled game than I've expected, considering, how our high school games usually go.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got some highly elo players in this game. Little Kangaroo up in the top side, skipping away from that gank. Look at that, chucking a pun in there. Yeah, that's a first.
That is a first. You're learning
the ways of the pun, eh?
You're learning the ways of being that guy, and everyone wants that guy on cast, that is for sure. 2L Stylish getting poked a bit here, but he should be fine. The angle's being used more for farming.
You got that protractor out on screen. Yeah, everyone has that. The little, when you got those math kits, Kent math kits back in high school, everyone's still got one of those.
Flag and drag to Cataclysm, forces out a flash from Stylus, but here comes that disintegration way, and it will do the job. First blood going to Mansfield.
Only Mastery 6 on the Vel'Koz? Disappointed there, mate. You should be getting higher up, but maybe after this game, I mean, she can't get mastery tokens for custom games. That's upsetting. But Malzahar going down, they're not tracking the jungler properly, sitting in that little brush. Jarvan pops up, drops the shield because, as you know, the spell shield doesn't matter when there's a big wall around you and goes down instantly to that combination on that side. Why this comp's so strong. Infernal Dragon also picked up, so Mansfield looking very strong right now. Open up to that 1k gold lead after a very silent and controlled start to this game. But you can kind of see when you look at these CS numbers in this mid lane, that's a huge lead for the Vel'Koz. 88 CS to 62 already in this game. Vel'Koz almost tracking at a 10 CS PM mark, which is, you know, what you will aim for when you're a pro player. You know, most pro players are sitting around that 10 CS PM. Jarvan as well, 60 to 46, beating Gragas out in the jungle. And once Jarvan gets his core item completed, that Cinderhulk or, well, it looks like he's going for Cinderhulk, not Warrior Enchant, so he's going to be very strong once that's completed. Probably going to go Cinderhulk into Guggle, Stoneplate into Warmogs, I believe. Is the build right?
Yep.
Sounds right to me. So once he gets that, he'll be very hard to kill and he'll be able to just engage freely. Him and Leona are going to be those key playmakers for Mansfield, but in this mid lane, this Malzahar struggling just a little bit, still getting the wave shoved in with that Lost Chapter now completed. We'll have a lot more mana, and hopefully with this priority, he can do something around the map. Because I find that's one thing on Malzahar, you always gain that priority, but it's one of those champions that's not the best at roaming, and it's really hard to find those opportunities.
Absolutely, and I'm a little bit worried too, because if he continues to shove like this, yes, he might have lane priority, but for really how long? In a fight right now, this Vel'Koz would absolutely stomp him, and I really feel like if you're stylish, you almost have to be playing safer because of things like that, and that's why he can't afford to be that far shoved up. And if this continues, like, I'm worried. Losing that mid focus right now opens just up so much for Mansfield, as we're seeing right here. The Flag and Dragon does get himself right into Connie, who actually has to use the ultimate to escape. And yeah, things are starting to fall apart actually for the Redeemers just because of that sheer force of advantage that's going to be coming out of this mid lane.
You'll take that trade though if you're the Malphite, right? Your ultimate's not going to be as impactful at this stage of the game. And that Jarvan ulti means quite a bit. So being at trading ult for ult, I think he'll be quite happy with that trade up in the top side. Good little battle up there, and the Kennen also now getting the CS lead too, so Mansfield really pulling away here now too.
Yes, but with the ultimate gone, it does mean that top priority is actually going to be completely gone for the Redeemers, and you can see MajorDave has just beelined straight for that Rift Herald, so not having that Malphite ultimate does give the lane over to the Kennen, and right now if you're Mansfield, so alright, mid lane, we've got it set. For the next 5 minutes or so, or 3 minutes or so, yeah, we have top lane too. Bot lane is the only place where the Redeemers can fight back, but a teleport's coming in to kind of stop this gank, and already a premature flash coming from the Gragas, and Redeemer's attempt to get back into this game is immediately shut down.
Yeah, I mean, Gragas had to burn that flash too, right, Leona? Flash stun is obviously a possibility there, and you can't risk that happening, especially with the teleport coming down. MajorDave back again in this mid lane trying to harass the Malzahar, but he'll just put down his Maleficent Visions, and this should be shoved in, and now a little bit of priority for the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Vel'Koz really should have complete priority, I feel like, in the mid lane for the next 20 minutes or so. Meanwhile, though, in the bot lane, what's interesting is no flash available for LilTaco, yet Mansfield still is able to keep pushing, and they're starting to get some tower playings as well, starting to accelerate BlazingSpirit on this misfortune, and this is just the problem with going with the Tahm Kench and that uber-safe bot lane. By having already lost mid and top and going for a pick and ban that makes you lose bot, and the ultimate disintegration ray is just going to disintegrate Stylish, as the lead in mid lane is starting to snowball. Bot lane's not going the Redeemer's way. Zenith Blade connecting onto 24720. BlazingSpirit's going to step forward, but they can't go too far. You do have ñænGmyœn waiting just above, but so was one MajorDave, who did go for the Flag and Drag play. Explosive Casket is going to miss, and the poke from Arventus does about a quarter of this Gragas' health, enough to scare him away from the fight. 24720 still looking for it, will dodge those tight right angles, and in the end of the day, everyone will back off.
Yeah, one good play, good solo kill there from Arventus in the mid lane, taking advantage of that Malzahar. And this Vel'Koz with barrier is very annoying to play with from my experience. I hate playing against one of those control mages that sits back from range, pokes you out. That Rift Herald dropped and picked up the first tower sub 13 minutes. So all of those bot lane plates getting put onto this misfortune. She should have her Essence River completed now, and very big lead for Mansfield in all three lanes. See how that snowball effect turns down. The mid lane gets ahead, opens up the jungler. They roam to the bot side, get that lead there. Burns that ultimate off the top side, and now Kipkangaroo gets ahead too. And now the whole team from Mansfield's looking very strong. And Redeemers currently contest any objectives until this Malzahar gets a bit stronger.
Absolutely, but that was kind of what the Redeemers were always going to have to do. They did opt for that scaling comp. It's just they have to find a way to mitigate this damage. And I have just been so impressed with how MajorDave has been playing this map, applying pressure where it's needed, when it's devastated.
Yeah.
It's really hard for the Redeemers to kind of stop this growing momentum against them. They're going to need this Gragas, I feel like, to step up and try and stifle this J4 as much as possible. Otherwise, he's going to have complete control of the map for the next 10-15 minutes or so. And
yeah.
It's going to be a rough one for this red side, and if you're a fan of the Redeemers, you got to hope for something to go wrong with the game plan of Mansfield, but at the moment, they're just playing too clean and too intelligently for the Redeemer side.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, another interesting thing in this mid lane matchup too is both of them actually cancel each other's ultimates. If you channel your W before Malzahar or when Malzahar ults, it'll go off and cancel that. And at the same time, Malzahar also have that silence to cancel the Vel'Koz ult. I feel like he could have done that, especially that second time when he got solo queued. He was running away, Rashid, and running towards the Vel'Koz and looking to put down that silence, but that second dragon, as you can see, does quickly go over to Mansfield now, which means our soul for this game is a Cloud Drake, which means we'll be running nice and fast around those buffs. The speed. I actually don't mind Cloud Rift, to be honest.
I love Cloud. Cloud's probably my favorite. But this is
Ocean's my favorite. I love Ocean. It's just nice and
This is actually pretty good for Mansfield, especially with that Zenith Blade connecting onto 24720. I'm curious how much they're going to actually put on the Tahm Kench, and actually quite a bit, as the Disintegration Ray is not going to get one but two. A great double kill played off of MajorDave's Cataclysm.
Wow, and now Arventus in this mid lane got that pen boots completed the Luden's Echo 2, and he is a very strong Vel'Koz. Malzahar getting a Catalyst of Aeons. I'm not sure what he's trying to build towards there, but nevertheless, he thought it was the best thing for that situation.
He's doubling down on scaling.
Abyssal Mask?
I think it's going to be Roa, and I think he's going to try and double down on the scaling right now. And I'm
Roa, you don't need it all, Mals. You have enough scaling, you got enough health pool with your other items you build anyways. The only item I could maybe see being worthwhile is yeah, like that Abyssal.
It could be Abyssal, but that would just be conceding so much damage and conceding more and more time to this Mansfield Tide, who, as you can see, they're starting to accelerate this game a little bit. They're getting a couple picks in the Redeemers jungle. They're starting to push a bit forward, especially in bot lane. I imagine they should do a lane swap, which they did do, actually, so they're playing super correctly. However, this could be that counterplay, although Kipkangaroo is aware. He's actually backing off, and this could be a bad time for Vel'Koz right now. You do have that Gragas just waiting down below. Ultimate coming from Stylish holds him in place, but a nice flash avoids a lot of the damage, and ooh, the last touch from the board, not quite enough to turn things around entirely in favor of Mansfield, but still a good fight going the blue way.
You can see that interaction though there, obviously the Vel'Koz channeling that knock-up as Malzahar ultimates, because you do have enough reaction time to actually channel that ability while that ult's coming through. Malzahar's ult is a 0.5 second channel time, whether that Vel'Koz W is 0.25 seconds. So you're going to be quick on it, but definitely doable. 500 MS to correct that mistake, and Vel'Koz on the trigger there with his fingers and able to lock it down. Malzahar only just escaping, and you does seem to be right, that roll should be coming through. I mean, it could be either, right? It could be Luden's or roll, we don't know. But roll's definitely, I don't think I've ever seen roll or Malzahar.
Really?
No. Oh. Well, besides like back in the day, but I wasn't playing back then. Right?
I played Roa Malzahar yesterday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess I think we lost. I'm not sure it was the correct build, but I played it yesterday. It was there. I did have. Hey, you know what?
That's the point of League of Legends.
You know what? I also had a rough start, kind of like Stylish, all right? I think I was like 0-4 in one stage, and we came back and won as the flag and drag does connect. TK is going to try and buy some time. Cataclysm though will catch TK up above. The bullet time is just going to rain havoc on the rest of the Redeemers, so they can't re-engage. The explosive casket trying to be used as disengage, not enough to save 24720 as the kill was picked up by BlazingSpirit. Meanwhile, down below, the disintegration ray onto Stylish is silenced. Under the tower we go by Mansfield. They're able to find this Gragas, and Stylish tries to hide within the pit of the red buff. There's no safety there, and Kipkangaroo will help secure that kill with the slicing Maelstrom. Pac-Man 05 still on the run, but he should be getting run down. Flag and drag does not connect, actually turning it back around, and LilTaco under towers in a bit of trouble, has to flash out. Pac-Man's looking for it, connects with the Void Seeker, and they do find one back.
That's going to be one of the best Jarvan plays I've ever seen in my life. Q flash E, baby. Obviously going for an EQ flash there, but just a little bit slow on the buttons from the Jarvan. And as a result, the Kai'Sa gets away with it and picking up a kill on the backside to LilTaco. That first death for Mansfield, the first kill for the Redeemers, 7-1. The first kill on their way back into this game.
Oh, the ultimate does not connect from Kami, but Arventus is like, you know what, I can knock you up. That said, Pac-Man still on the hunt, going to drop those missiles. Flash forward, secures the kill for I Love Connie 176. And
down. Sorry, I just got excited and just shut down. Popped up. My bad.
Alrighty then. Fair enougugh. It's a good play, and it's something that the Redeemers needed.
Yeah, I mean, that 850 gold bounty going straight over into the Malphite. Probably not the carry you want it to go into. You'd rather go into the Kai'Sa there. But at the end of the day, that's gold picked up into their pockets, reducing that gold lead to only 5k. That hurts to say. Only 5k.
Only 5k. Yeah, I mean,
18 minutes.
This is still very much Mansfield's game.
But it's still very winnable, right? Malzahar is a perfect stall champion. That champion, kind of like a Nivea 2, is one of those champions that can stall out a game and buy you that extra bit of time. Kais is very strong once he hits late game, but that's not good.
Yeah, the Death Bush trap has been strong. The Explosive Casket throws Kipkangaroo a bit deeper, and I'm actually surprised they're going to pull off this for now. That said, it's better to keep everything alive and those ultimates available for that next dragon fight. Actually, Slicing Maelstrom wasn't available for Kipkangaroo then, but you know, by kind of forcing this Gragas back, he's not the healthiest one in the world right now, and it does seem like Mansfield will then use that to get priority over this next Cloud Drake.
Yep, and obviously if they pick up this next Cloud Drake, they'll be straight onto Soul Point, which means the Redeemers are going to be in dire situation. That Cloud Drake going over the 10% ultimate cooldown, especially on a team fighting comp like the one Mansfield have built, is very overpowered. You know, get 10% off that equalizer? No, not equalizer. What's it called? The Cataclysm cooldown. 10% off the bullet time, 10% off the Solar Flare, and 10% off that Slicing Maelstrom means that team fight is going to be clear and it's going to be up.
Team fight could be happening right now. It's 2470 is in a bit of trouble. Hit with everything right there. The Solar Flare as well as the Flag and Drag bring down one Tahm Kench as Kipkangaroo still looking for a way in to get to that Gragas. Is not going to find it. They're going to be content with just one pick on the support, but the reward will be the jungle and maybe some more towers as well.
Interesting that Banshee's picked up second here from the Vel'Koz too, not going for that extra damage and either, you know, something like a Rylai's to make his skill shots easy to hit, or a Morellinomicon to just shred through them and really snowball that advantage. Going for that Banshee's Veil, keep himself a little bit safer, trying to take out some of this AP that's very heavy on the Gragas and the Malzahar, to be fair, and Kais a little bit of AP herself too, as AP Kais had got buffed last patch, didn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, right. So, you know, decent pick up there from Arventus, just keep himself alive. Got the barrier, got that Banshee's Veil, and got this mid tower going down too, but he should be alright. They should rotate over and take this out for the Redeemers, and we'll see exactly what Mansfield are going to do next. The Baron is up, the big purple worm, and they're in prime position to take it down.
Yeah, absolutely. Mansfield should be in position for that right now. They're going to back after essentially decimating the bot side of the map. 2 towers, the entire jungle, all going to the blue side. They should be able to reset and start putting priority on that Baron. That said, Redeemers will be able to get there first. I'm curious how much vision they're going to be comfortable in establishing. One thing that Mansfield did not do correctly was really get that bot wave pushing for them, or perhaps they did actually. I'm kind of curious. They may have. I'm going to keep tracks on that and how that goes, because if that bot lane is actually pushing heavily for Mansfield right now, I mean, someone with the Redeemers will have to go down there and answer it, and that's when Mansfield can strike on that Baron.
Yeah, precisely, right. You want to wait for this time to rotate through. Hopefully now Mansfield should move into that area, set up that vision, make sure they're, you know, getting their pinks down, taking control of the area, setting up a bush, and just waiting with this Jarvan and Kennen for them to just sit there with MF Leona in the bush behind and just jumping on the first person that walks through, whether it be the Gragas, hopefully Malzahar even too. Now's the time. Now's the time when Mansfield should be going for that Baron. You can see right there, Pac-Man and 24720 have rotated the bot lane because Mansfield did enough to get that blue wave pushing. And immediately as they're spotted, you can see everyone on the Mansfield side, they're starting to rotate up for that Baron. They're looking for it. They want to accelerate this game. They're either going to try and force a fight, or they're going to take that Baron and start looking at inhibs. But I think this is much smarter here, forcing them to bait out, making them walk into you, right? Because this is what they want. They're
MF was spotted. They should know. MF was spotted. How do you still walk into that? A horrible misplay, unfortunately for Stylish, does bring him down, and that's just a lack of communication, I feel like, from the Redeemer's side. But with Malzahar gone, the Baron will be taken.
Well, and no ultimates were burnt either on that takedown, so they still have all their tools available. If this Gragas is going to come in and steal, he should find himself wrapped up in a Cataclysm into a Slicing Maelstrom, and there'll be no chance of him taking down this.
Oh, Solar Flare connects. The Zenith Blade follow-up as well, and Baron's going to be put on pause. As the Slicing Maelstrom, not enough to secure the kill on Gragas, but it's enough to take away any chances of that steal play. MajorDave's actually quite low, but he will be fine. Baron is secured by Mansfield off of that pick play. Great death push. Great play from Mansfield.
That was a brilliant Baron setup. That was exactly what you want to see every single team do. Any coach would see that and go, wow, that's a well done side. That's exactly what you want to see. That perfect vision setup, choke the team out, force them to come and guess where you are. See if you're on the Baron, see if you're not. Walk straight into it, pick up a cheeky pick when you see them on the opposite of the map, make them force that objective out, especially with the correct lane decisions too, right? You can see their lanes are all pushed in as well, which is especially, I mean, obviously the bot lane did bounce. That wasn't pushed in, it was pushed out. But the fact that wave was pushed meant that the bot lane rotated there to push it out, applying that pressure around the map. And this has been a very nice game from Mansfield.
I'm going to drop a reference here, which some people might not get, but I'm going to be calling out some teams that played in the Weekend Warriors Coliseum. I'm not going to name which teams in particular, but I'm seeing better map play and better macro and better decision making from Mansfield than like teams of all challengers. Now, whether or not those challenger teams were taking the game, 100% serious, I don't know, but I've been super impressed with how Mansfield have been like approaching this game, how they've been playing it, and in my eyes right now, this is looking like a serious contender to me to win the entire tournament if they can continue this high level of decision making.
That's a big call early on, but
it's a very big call.
Justified one too. They've looked very strong. Obviously, you don't know how, I mean, I haven't looked at these players, I don't know what ranks they are, I don't know exactly how they're going.
Yeah, I'm just going based on map play and decision making.
Based on macro, even draft, I think they've done very, very well here, and I think Mansfield, they're looking very strong. I mean, Redeemers aren't no shabby team either. I'm pretty sure Pac-Man's a platinum player. You know, they're not slouches, right? They haven't got bad, and there was that roller that didn't end up being completed for the Malzahar.
Oh, disintegration, right?
Selling the lost trap.
Oh, it actually let Gragas go golden right there, but it's enough for a disengage right now. As this is happening, though, take a look at up top. You have a bit of a push going as pace seems to be slowing a little bit, but no one on the Redeemers are set up in position to try and stop this Dragon Soul from being taken. So it looks like it's just going to be 4 quick dragons for the blue side to enable that Dragon Soul. The story of the game right now is, can one BlazingSpirit escape? He's been tagged a bit by the Void Seeker, but it looks like he'll get out. Solar Flare slows but doesn't stun. It only pops the shield from Silence, but it's enough to make the escape as the Dragon Soul is secured.
Yep, and now that Cloud Soul onto this team, as I discussed before, the cooldowns on these ultimates for these carries on Mansfield's side are going to be very crucial coming into these next few team fights. It means whenever these objectives are up, whenever Redeemers are coming to contest with their ultimates, if they lose that fight, then they have to wait until theirs are back up again, and Mansfield have a chance to engage because their ultimates will be up first. If all 10 ultimates are burnt in one fight, Mansfield will be ready to go much faster than the Redeemers will. Obviously, TK ult's not combat ultimate, but that's got a very long cooldown. Mal's ult's got a very long cooldown too. Obviously, with him going for that roller too, especially, he's got no cooldown reduction in his build. He'd be on 15, I think, depending on what are in runes. If he went the 10% CDR, he'd be maybe 18% CDR, which is not good. When he should have that Ludens with that extra 20% and be up at 35, which means his ultimates would be about an 80-second cooldown. Oh, not 80 second, about a minute cooldown, but it should still be sitting around the 130, which is really bad.
All right. So Cataclysm was just used as well, which did get the flash out of Pac-Man, and that actually could leave the Redeemers even more vulnerable considering the slow amount of time for the Cataclysm to become back available again, thanks to the Cloud Drake, as you just said. And right now, we're starting to see that pressure be applied. Mansfield, they actually want this team fight. They've got a nice 9K gold lead. They have the split push pressure coming from bot as well, so eventually the numbers are going to be in their favor, or they might use it to continue to starve out the jungle, continue to establish that amazing deep vision that they've had. Yeah, Baron is gone for now. It's actually
that's right. First Baron's shorter, eh?
Yeah, it's shorter, and like they did get it a fair while ago. So
color casted, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, playing off of this right now, though, you can just see like the vision has always been in Mansfield's side. Yeah. They've been aware of all the Redeemers' motions. They've constantly kept pressure on their weak side, and as a result, the Redeemers, they're always late to react. They haven't been able to find picks for the most part, except for a couple earlier in this game. But MajorDave, he's looking for it, and this could be a setup for a fight right here. The flag and drag over the wall. They're actually looking a bit deeper. They thought they could get to Pac-Man. They don't get there in time. Instead, they're going to turn back on 2470. A long Zenith Blade actually looks to go bad, but instead goes good as the Cataclysm will hold I Love Calming in place. He gets the 4-man ultimate, but it's not going to do too much to save his life in this instance. LilTaco escapes with a little bit of life, and that is a couple members down for the Redeemers and a tower to boot as well.
That was a bit of what's it called, Eternals farming there, but wow, look at
that's slow, through. Gets the flash, and here comes the slashing Maelstrom, and look at the Gragas melt. Kangaroo goes golden, but immediately gets the stretched, actually, but that's just a sitting target for the bullet time. Yes, that does mean Kennen goes down, but so does everyone on the Redeemer's side. That is an ace, and the base will be cracked open. I don't think they can end just yet, but the Redeemers, like, their time is running out.
Oh, we've got 20 seconds on Gragas. Maybe, they could end.
Connie's up in 10.
Depends. We'll have to see. I think they could go for it, but
the knockups there, and look at the true damage burn. The disintegration ray essentially just one-shots that Tahm Kench, and the pressure's still going to be put on. Yeah, that is an ace.
They can't end, no. They took too long. If this Malphite goes in and dies, they can end. But no, they'll just back off, play it safe. They've been playing very clean all game. I can't imagine them pushing the envelope any further. Just going to retract, reset, get their cooldowns, wait for that Kennen to respawn. Going for Death Cap as well for a nice last item there. Don't mind that.
It's AP Kennen. It's not AD Kennen. That's it. That's it. Mansfield wins. AP Kennen.
That's the difference.
Easy done. That's why.
It's not the 9-1 Vel'Koz. It's the AP Kennen.
No, it's not the great map play, not the amazing MajorDave Arventus synergy. It's all about Kipkangaroo going, you know what? I want to play Kennen the way Riot intended. And thus, they are granted a clean victory, one would think, as we hit yet another pause. But there's not much longer in this game. I feel like I imagine it's going to be a case of reset, Baron, game.
Baron? Yeah, reset Baron game, reset fight game, reset whatever game. It's a very simple execution from Mansfield Minotaurs. But for the Redeemers, they can get back into this game, right? You still have that Malzahar wave clear. They're going to get these supers funneling in too. I don't know about the Ra from Stylish. That was a bit of an interesting build choice, especially because it's not stacked up yet. We haven't been informed, though, this pause is because a player has disconnected. So once he's back into the game, we should be jumping in quite shortly. You just have to reconnect. And
I think we even saw who it was, too.
Did we?
Yeah, it was it was Kipkangaroo.
Kipkangaroo. Classic.
Yeah. So we should be getting back into this one shortly, but yeah, I mean, Redeemers say they need that Dream Team fight, right? Yeah. They need, I really feel, the Explosive Casket to separate Arventus from the rest of the team. Somehow take the Vel'Koz out before MajorDave and Kipkangaroo sort of re-engage and get their giant AoE death balls going on the. It's gonna be so hard for this Redeemer side. Maybe a Miracle Baron Steel leading to the fight that they want. I don't know. Either way, the pressure is all gonna be on the player whose name I can't pronounce, and that just makes me so sad on the inside.
I mean, honestly, Pac-Man do something too. He's been very quiet this game. He hasn't really done much. He's playing Kai'Sa, very mobile champion. And you know, if you learn that major Gragas knock-up, you've got the ability to use that. What is it, Void Assault? No. That's Karzik's ultimate. What's her? Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct, yeah. To get onto the back line, maybe straight onto that Vel'Koz too and take him out. If you can land a nice 12-bullet Q, maybe, you know, check the W in there.
So much peel, though. If you go too deep at the wrong time and you get instantly popped, unfortunately for the Redeemers, it's all on Pac-Man in a team fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if Pac-Man, you know, goes for the Killer Instinct at the wrong time, gets hit by a Leona shield, gets hit by, you know, anything from Kipkangaroo, that leads to the stun. I forget what the name of the passive is at the moment, but you get the idea. Just like anything can just stop Pac-Man in their tracks, and then it's over. So Redeemers, they had the tougher team composition, and this is what we were kind of worried about. They kind of fall into this behind situation where they need to execute a tough team comp perfectly against a team that's almost designed to go against them. Yeah. It's going to be really, really tight. I'm really worried for this Redeemer side, but if you're a Mansfield Minotaurs team, you are going to be very happy with pretty much how every aspect of this game has gone. Yeah.
I mean, especially Mansfield have looked super strong. They have a really clean, good Mac play. I remember MajorDave from last year was, you know, quite decent too. So obviously, good to see these players returning. I'm not sure about the Redeemer side. I don't know any of those names.
Pac-Man sounds familiar.
And
so does the support.
But I feel like I can't remember playing for this school, but obviously.
There are a lot of schools and a lot of players and a lot of teams, and sometimes it's hard to remember them all, but especially this year, you know, considering we have, what, 80 schools competing?
Something ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's 80.
It makes it a little bit easier now. Everyone's got their team names and stuff. True. Right? If they didn't have those team names up there, it's so hard. You have to go like backwards, right? No, I've got to go this way. These team names. If you don't have with these new team names, you got the Minotaurs. What were the other one? The Marsden Shark or something? You got like
there's just
anyways, heaps of different games.
Oh, here we are.
There we go. Beautiful.
There we go. Look,
the Hellcats. That stands out to me. That's a dope name.
SBS, bruh.
That's a pretty easy to remember.
But then we have some returners as well, like the Miramax Sparkle Squad.
Yep, they're back again. They made semi-finals, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a deep run.
Yeah. They were top 4. Yeah. Somerset could have definitely contested well. I mean, they did take KG for all 3 games and only just lost that last one too. So they're a site to watch too. Obviously, they were supposed to be our game last week, but let's not talk about that.
I think I actually like Canterbury Taipans. I'm a snake fan. I like snakes. So I see Taipans. I'm like,
Canterbury doesn't fit Taipans.
I don't care. I just see Taipans.
I think Canterbury and I think Bulldogs, right, from Rugby League.
I think Canterbury and I think Chocolate.
That's Cadbury.
Yeah, I know. It's close enough.
Yeah,
it's close enough.
I can see that. So we are back into game. So Skippy the Kangaroo has jumped back into the game, and we'll be going to finish up this Nexus. Obviously, collecting these cheeky little buffs. Ooh, got it without resetting. Well done, Vel'Koz. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Trying to get a little bit of vision back here for the Redeemers is this Tahm Kench and the Gragas, but unfortunately, it will be 2 new availables. The Cloud buff with that speedy walking is back in again. The Baron about to respawn, and once that comes up, looks like Redeemers will be going down. Here it is now, and Gragas put out.
Yeah, this is not a good time for our Gragas, although Blasting Cone kind of backfired a bit. There's the reconnect, so Kipkangaroo is now back on this map, and with that, I do believe we'll be seeing some Baron pressure at this stage. And the one item that I've seen picked up by Arventus that I think actually does end this game is that Zhonya's Hourglass.
Yeah.
Because even if you isolate this Vel'Koz and get the damage on him, he can just go golden, and that will buy more than enough time for this Mansfield to look to re-engage. That said, LilTaco's actually caught in an awkward place. The Zenith Blade doesn't connect, but it's a big stun on the Pac-Man, and here comes the engage. Disintegration Ray is going to secure the kill onto the Kaisa, and that could do it, especially with the Cataclysm holding two members. Malphite has to jump out defensively with his ultimate. 2 picks, though, for Mansfield, and the pings are coming in the base. They have the super minions already crashing in. This could be it for the Redeemers.
Baron secured as well, too. Kipkangaroo once again AFKing, but I don't think it will matter having that Kennen in the game or not. Mansfield here should just walk through with these Baron minions and take out the rest of the remaining squad here from the Redeemers. What a clean game from Mansfield. Obviously, we didn't expect to go too much longer. A swift 30-minute victory, 17 kills to 3. But it was a very controlled game starting out, right? It took a while to get those first few kills.
They're not ending.
Not ending. Fair enough. They're going to end soon anyways. So just
they want Elder Dragon. They want Elder Dragon. They want to take everything from the Redeemers. You are not allowed to have anything.
I mean, it's almost a perfect game. If it wasn't for those 3 kills, it would be a perfect game.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I mean, did they get any plates? See, that's the thing now, right? Does a perfect game, does losing plates not get?
Well, I don't think they lost any plates.
You don't think so?
No, because remember, bot lane was a weak lane for the Redeemers. They didn't let them.
They could have maybe lost one in mid lane.
I don't think they did. Oh, maybe in the first 8 minutes, but even then, that first blood kill came from Arventus pretty early.
I suppose.
As this Elder Dragon is going to be going contested to the Mansfield side. Now they have Elder Dragon Soul, Baron, you got your Cloud Soul, you got Elder Dragon buff, everything in Mansfield's court, and they are already pushing forward to end. They're going to attack on 2 fronts by the looks of things, and already Zenith Blade connecting onto I Love Connie, and the follow-up damage, not enough to secure that kill just yet, but BlazingSpirit still stepping forward, still getting those autos in.
That Malphite has a huge health pool too, to be fair.
It did.
They did chunk through a significant amount, but he has a big health pool, and that last tower will now fall.
Yeah, the last tower will go down the inhibitor not long after. This is going to be a clean game. All buildings will be destroyed from Mansfield as they're pushing on those Nexus turrets. There's the explosive cascade, but it only gets LilTaco out of place as the disintegration rate actually is used more stunning. A huge bullet time just completely blitzes everyone with the slicing maelstrom. A little bit of a cheeky fountain dive. That's a-okay because Mansfield win this one in a clean, controlled, and emphatic fashion.
That was a dominating performance there from Mansfield, and those lasers at the end. I love that animation when the Elder Dragon just pops up and just boom, destroys the enemy team like it just did that Nexus, and Mansfield take out the dub today. They
take home a big victory, and I mean, if you want to study how to play League of Legends, even at a lower level, like yes, okay, maybe this isn't top level, but Mansfield, it really seemed like they did everything absolutely correctly in terms of like how to win a game. Step A, step B, step C, step D. It was just boom, 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 boom. I mean, it helps when your Vel'Koz is 4-0 in under 20 minutes.
It does add a significant helping hand. Yeah.
He was 4-0 because of how they played the map. They enabled the Vel'Koz to get there, and that is just really a great performance from a team that I'm going to be keeping my eye on.
Yeah, I mean, this team is definitely going to be one to watch. Obviously, I can't remember their name popping up last year. I think they might have made quarters. But, they did really well getting, this split so far. Obviously, maybe some new kids come onto the school and, they've picked up a cheeky couple players there, and that's maybe how they're developing. And also, you can see, once you play another year, it's only going to be improvement. So, the quality of play we're going to see on this broadcast, especially... It's not so much solo queue rank related because the play in teams is just such a different level. It's a completely different game when you're playing with 5 people on a team versus one people playing on.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely that, as we saw right there. Now, we will have some replays coming at you soon. We were able to get a couple of them so we can have a look back at how Mansfield actually did dominate this game. But before we get to that, real quick, MVP, I'm still looking at Arventus.
Vel'Koz for sure.
Yeah, Arventus on the Vel'Koz.
Vel'Koz, I mean, hear me out. AP Kennen.
True, Kipkangaroo.
Kipkangaroo, what a great name.
Actually, the other argument that I could see would be one MajorDave. on the Jarvan.
No, I still think Arventus, though.
But I still think Arventus, especially considering we were kind of questioning this pick into this lane. Would it be successful? Would he be able to take the game over? And Orianna might have been better, might have been worse. Well, nope, Arventus, he proved us wrong right there and said, no, there's a reason why I'm taking this champion in the mid lane is because I can completely take it over.
Looks like after losing to the Redeemers have been demoted to the grey side. They're in Mordekaiser's Death Realm. They're no longer allocated to red, blue, or purple. That's it. They're just grey.
It's so we can actually see you. That's the purpose.
But not really, right? You still can't. It's. I mean, it's alright.
Well, no, it's like, you know, if you go in there, 1940s.
Half and half.
Modern day.
Back in the 2000s.
1940s. Modern day. Whereas when I go like in my blue, I'm like, I don't even.
The future, but it's Avatar. Avatar Max.
Yeah, that's not fun. I'd rather be Two-Face as well. There we go. We're playing with the camera today. It's been that kind of atmosphere, I feel like, just throughout like everything lately. Like, as you know, more and more things are adapting to the changes, social changes. I'm not sure we're allowed to use the actual phrasing of what it is, but everyone knows what it is. But I've noticed like everything's been changing. It's like almost been more laid back when you're out in the public atmosphere. I don't know. That could be just me as we have our replays.
Yep, and we see a fantastic team fight there. Cheeky pick off in the jungle early on. Picks up that double kill onto the Arventus, getting to that 4-0 point at 15 minutes we allocated to earlier. Back to us again.
Quick replay.
Yeah, it's just smart picks here from Mansfield. You know, even though they had this team fight comp, they were still playing so proactively. And, you know, some poor rotations too from the red side. I was at Tahm Kench is one of those picks we, you know, kind of allocated in the draft that it wasn't, you know, the best pick ever. It doesn't give you that great synergy. And, you know, you really want something like a Varus that really needs that free QSS.
Aggressive enough.
There just was no real impact here from, not Mansfield, from...
Redeemers.
They didn't go out and influence the map too heavily. They didn't really have picks that could facilitate that either. So they kind of just got ran over, which is, you know, one of the things I can see. But this is another great pick later into the game to kind of really. This is what opened up the map and let them have that first Baron opportunity to move in. The TK gets picked out. Both teams over here moving around. Malzahar getting caught out in rotation, two in that chase onto the Kai'Sa and the Gragas. The dive being completed by these two. And then this is the famous play from MajorDave. The one, the only Gragas.
Yeah. Let's see this again. Come on, here we go.
And Q flash.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, for Mansfield, that was probably the only real critical mistake that they had in this game was just a mechanical one from MajorDave. Yeah, there's a little pick that happened later, more towards the bot lane, but it was mechanical stuff that let the Minotaurs down.
It wasn't the what you expected this level.
Yeah.
Right? Like if they're nailing that macro stuff, I don't really care if they're making a mechanical mistake or two because there's always a movement.
Look, if you've ever I don't know how much Jarvan you play. I played a fair bit of Jarvan, and
I played a little bit. Yeah.
Are you saying you've never done the Q flash E combo before?
I've never done the Q flash.
No one expects it. It's next level. Unfortunately, I think Pac-Man may have seen it once or twice, but normally when I do that, it's just perfect, triple kill every time. So I do not, you know, I think MajorDave did the right thing in going for that play. More realistically, what was probably going on in that situation was just like, gotta get him, wasn't paying attention to cooldowns, went for the QE, recognized he missed it, flashed, and then thought, you know what, might as well get some damage down anyways and drop the E at the end. That's usually what happens when those situations go down.
Happening, and we see now, I don't know what play this is. This is... Oh, that's right, the pick onto the two of them where the Zenith Blade goes through the wall.
Yeah, whoop, going in really, really deep right there. But just the follow-up, the shutdown coming from Mansfield was far too great. Yeah, 4-man ultimate.
But Leona is too with the new W passive. They're blocking all damage, plus Aftershock. Like, she's unkillable. As we see, the tower goes down into the chase through here into the tower. Kipkangaroo does go down, unfortunately, but that's because this Malzahar turns around and just pops.
Yeah, but like at what cost? Because watch this bullet time. No one's getting out of that. It's a tit for tat. And then the towers will start to fall. Pac-Man doing what he could, but it just was not enough, unfortunately, for the Redeemers. As Mansfield, it was relentless how well they played that game. It
was a very clean victory. Fantastic win there from Mansfield. And, you know, obviously the Redeemers going down. We'll have to see what we get next week, but that was a really good game.
Yeah, I have high expectations, especially considering the Swiss format that we have. It does mean we'll always have, you know, some pretty high-level teams going at each other, and it's going to lead to some more good League of Legends just like this. Mansfield, I really hope that that they continue to play at this level.
Yeah,
I really
this isn't a bait like last year with... where that one game we saw in the quarterfinals with the Darius got like a pentakill and like 7-8-1. And we're like, yo, this team looks really good. This Darius was so good. We get to the next game and it just instant goes like 0-17 on
No, it wasn't that bad. And honestly,
it was pretty bad.
I mean,
it was a big bait. It was a big bait. Where like they could take down KG4. This is the team to do it, and then they just got.
Well, isn't that the life and death of Darius though? They either win big or they like just.
But he wasn't playing Darius. He picked something else.
Well, that's why.
But it doesn't matter, right?
You got Darius. That's right. Darius was banned forever after that.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, because when you see someone 1v4, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the meta is. It doesn't matter.
Just ban the Darius.
If you 1v4 on a Yuumi top. You just don't want that to happen, so you ban the Yuumi top.
Yuumi top, that please don't give anyone an idea to even no. Yuumi top is not okay.
So I've been practicing top recently. Want a duo after this is all said and done? Hey, I got a secret surprise champ for you.
I'll just ban Yuumi Janna.
I'm okay with the Janna ban, but. Yeah, all right. Oh, look at that. I'm busy now. Oh, look at the time. Busy o'clock. Anyway, as we are continuing.
Ward save lives.
Ward save lives. Look at that. That may have been the last replay.
Yeah, I think we're
out of replays. I'm not sure. Usually they'd pop up by now and they wouldn't leave us, straggling for things to talk about. So, on that note, I do believe it is us for today. It's been a great game for sure. Another congratulations for those Mansfield Minotaurs. They look really, really good and excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be back next week, I think, for a normal broadcast start time of 4:30, 4:15?
4:15, 4:30. Fingers crossed.
4:15 broadcast should start. We should be on air 4:30. Game starts 4:45. We'll have to see. But anyways, make sure you stay tuned right here on the UQU Esports Twitch channel. I was Max Uri.
Oh, you were me! Awesome.
I've been Mr. Replays Anderson, joined by Max from ñænGmyœn. We wish you all a good night and can't wait to see you guys next week.